Welcome back to another episode of Exploring Whiskeys. Again, I'm Eric.
And I'm Kevin. And today, well, we kind of have a special bottle here. Mm-hmm. So this is Penelope.
A large media sample.
A large media sample. So this is the Penelope Barrel Strength Toasted Bourbon.
Yep.
So we've already done their regular 80 proof one. We've already done their barrel strength one. This one they take and do a second finishing in a toasted barrel. So that's what this is. We ran into them at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival last year and had started talking to the two the co-founders, but mainly the one
Mike.
Yeah, the one I don't know how they split up, if it's CEO and COO, or they don't really do that, they just do co-founders. I don't remember. So like Mike Paladini, we chit-chatted with him for a while at the, what was that, the second night we chit-chatted with him for a while, really talked about some of their different whiskeys there, and they were giving out samples of their toasted.
You guys had the Jersey connection.
Yeah, right. They're from northern New Jersey. I don't remember exactly where. I always forget where it is. So they're up in North Jersey. They started this liquor distillery company right when they found out that Mike found out that his wife was pregnant.
Yep.
They were naming their daughter Penelope, and they started Penelope Bourbon Company. They wanted to kind of just do something different. This is batch 60. So to be specific here, so they use MGP, but while they select all their barrels, they select all types of whiskeys.
Okay.
So they have rye barrels, they have wheat barrels, they have low rye bourbons, they have high rye bourbons, all from MGP, and they blend them together.
Okay.
That's what they do. That they're combining and blending. But this is a 4-grain bourbon. I think everything they do is 4-grain bourbon. I'm almost positive about that for the bourbons. They also do a light whiskey, I believe.
Okay.
This particular one is 116 proof. Should have a nice little kick to it.
Mike, I'm going to give you a thumbs up for sending us this.
Yeah, super
bottle.
Appreciate that. I had mentioned, like, I just couldn't find it. Oddly enough, as soon as it shows up, I saw it on the shelf. I was like, oh. Yeah, totally appreciate him sending us this bottle. And yeah, really looking forward to this guy. Really looking forward to this guy. So 116 proof. This is most of their bottles are somewhere in the 4 to 5 range.
Okay.
So that's what they're doing. The finish they always put on they always use the same barrel and heads for like all their whiskeys. But then with their toasted one, they like the second barrel. So this one is char number 3, which is like middle char, like because they go up to 5.
Yep.
Heavy toasted. So I'm expecting a lot of vanilla. That's usually with like that heavy toasting. Really, the vanilla is what shows up here. All right. That outside of sweetness, I'm not getting a whole heck of a lot.
I got a heavy waft of ethanol.
Yeah, but like sugars all around it, like not quite vanilla at this point. Ooh, that's so sweet. Very oily, like creamy. Sweet vanilla and fruit. Really is
good.
Two big things that I'm getting is a lot of vanilla and some fruits in there.
Yep.
That's what I remember from the Kentucky Bourbon Festival was, oh, all right. Like I've had their, and this is the reason why I actually bought it I bought their regular Penelope. And I was like, that's pretty good.
Label.
Yeah, that's pretty good, but it's 80 proof.
And it's very, very light.
And it's just like, wow, if you could proof that up, that'd be good. So then I bought the Barrel Strength. The flavor profile was slightly different, still really good. And I'm like, all right, they're picking pretty good MGB barrels. I mean, There's now a couple of companies that they know how to, like, they're picking really good barrels from MGP and blending them really well. So then to turn around and then finish it in another toasting, the nose doesn't match the palate though. So the nose, I get a little ethanol. I get a touch of a sweetness, like, maybe towards like the vanilla side. But then there's like a spice note. Like I'm getting almost a rye spice note. But
picked up a heavy rye spice.
Yeah. But it's like...
But then that finish though.
Super. It's just sweet and creamy.
Get a little bit of warmth for the 116 proof, but I'm not getting, I figure...
I would, if I were blind tasting that, I'd probably shoot more like 105-ish. Like I'd shoot under that 116. I wouldn't have called 116 on that. I agree. It drinks super smooth and super
to try
nice.
this one with just a little cube. It's got enough
Oh,
proof.
it definitely has enough proof. Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's try it with a little water.
Sure.
So, if we add some drops of water, what do we open up in here? It's just amazing what, Penelope, O.H. Ingram, Wheeler's Raid. They all start with the same distillate.
This is how they finish it.
But they all taste different and good. I mean, it's good. It's really good. I'm impressed with how they're picking their barrels, one. And honestly, I'm slightly impressed with MGP. Like, they must have a process that they go through and just know, like, exactly how to hit the right spots. Because, I mean, think of all the head cuts and the tail cuts to get to the hearts. They do every day. Like, they just have to have that, like, spot on.
It smells more like a rye now.
I get more rye spice and a little
It's
caramel.
not sharp. It's soft.
Right. I wonder if that's part of the 4-grain thing too, because they are one of the few. I can't think of, actually, I'm going to say only, but that's probably a lie. They're one of the few that we've done that get their stuff from MGP that's blending multiple types of MGP. That's really good.
Ooh, it's even smoother.
That's so nice. Sweetness, a little bit of a...
I get
what
more
is
corn
that?
now.
Yeah,
More corn.
That high fructose corn syrup, like sweetness, like Caro syrup.
Yeah.
Like that kind of a sweetness is coming through. It's so sweet. And still a lot of times we add water and there's like, now it burns a little bit.
The heat ramps up, but no.
It's warm, but it's
No burn.
no burn. That drink's super smooth. That is a really nice bottle.
Not a cheap bottle. It's all...
No, it's on the higher end for that, but I'm trying to compare that to other like toasted or double barreled ones, like Old Forester. What is it? The 1910 that gets double barreled.
I think so.
That's $60-ish, high 50s. So at $70, it's on the higher end. There's no question about that. They are slightly on the higher end, but again, every time you do that second barreling, there's spillage and wastes and more space that you need to have those barrels and all that.
The rule like is $10 for each year.
$10 for each year baseline bourbon.
So if this is 4 to 5.
4 to 5 year.
Let's just say heavy on the 5 side.
Sure.
And then you have to add in a little bit more for the double.
It's close. It's in the right ballpark.
It's worth it, I think.
It's a good $70 bottle. It's really good. Now they do have one more bourbon, and it's like finished in a rosé cask or something like that. But I've never been able to pull the trigger on that because I just don't like rosé. And it is like a slightly pink level.
Rosé all day.
I guess we need to try it because...
Hey, we're all about exploring whiskey.
That's true. That's true. It's just, I don't know. Like, it just sounds weird. They also, they do something with MGP's light whiskey, and they actually bottle some light whiskey.
Okay.
So Light whiskey is
Diet.
no. It's actually the total opposite of diet. Light whiskey means that you not overshot. You're allowed to proof it higher.
Mm-hmm.
So you're only allowed to distill regular whiskey can only be distilled to, it's either 140 or 160. I can't remember the details. And then it can only go in the barrel at 125 max.
Right. Oh, yeah, you're right. 160 down to 125.
Light whiskey, like those both ramp up just a touch.
Okay.
So you can, distill it way higher, like closer to vodka, almost, probably like 180s, 190s, and you can put it in the barrel at like 150 or something along those lines. So they do have that, which is still an MGP light whiskey. MGP actually has a pretty broad range of whiskeys that they distill. It's not just.
I want to tour. Preferably awesome. Behind the scenes.
That would be awesome. I want to see how much they put out for how many people. I just heard that, they were just either bought or merged with Luxco a couple months ago.
That was a couple months ago.
They are not taking on any new partners. So all new distilleries, or people that want to start a new label, you can't go to MGP for your stuff. They have a lot of partners, though.
They're going to Dickel.
They could. We don't know how, so just so little, but they could.
They got to have another facility.
That's a really good bottle. I know that they do this, and they do a couple of like barrel selection programs where you can blend your own or just pick a single barrel and things like that. They have a couple of different programs like that. I also want to get him to do something down here with the Whiskey Club.
Sure.
I really think everybody would enjoy.
They were nice guys.
That, yes.
Well, they were
great. They were great guys. They were just talking about family and oh, here, try this and all the things they had going on. Yeah, they were just. Yeah, they were there having a really good time at that Kentucky Bourbon Festival. This is really good whiskey, great finishing. I like what you're doing with this like MGP. I like the 4-grain blending of a couple different types. I think they're doing something different. They stand out.
Yep, very much so. We definitely appreciate the sample.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mike.
Yep, very much so. Solid bottle. I think, like we said, we felt like it was high, but I think it's worth the $70.
I think that's the funny part is if you just saw it for $70 and hadn't tasted it, you probably go. Once you taste it, you go, oh, okay, yeah, that's about right. Yeah, I can deal with that profile. Yeah, I think people would be impressed with a bottle like that flavor profile. They'd enjoy it.
Yeah, the 116 proof doesn't drink like that. Got a great finish to it.
So smooth.
So,
crazy.
Well, again, Mike and the rest of the crew, we appreciate you sending the bottle. I guess we gotta find the rosé now.
Yeah, we gotta do the rosé.
Gotta do the rosé.
And if we can find the light whiskey, I'm not even sure.
And then when you're up there in June, who knows what you might find.
That's true. You never know.
So we might have some more Penelope to review later this summer.
Exactly.
So, well, hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, as always, we encourage you to hit that like button down at the bottom of the screen. Help us grow the channel.
That's right. And if you're new, subscribe. Hit that bell icon. You get notified every time we put out content just like this. This is what we do. We review whiskeys that we hadn't tried before. That's every single episode is going to be some whiskey that we probably hadn't had before or one that we really enjoy.
Or muled back from a trip.
Absolutely correct.
So, well, thanks for watching.
See you on the next episode.
Cheers.
Cheers.